Hey, I'm Chris Simmons and welcome to The Size of Our Shoes. Are you new here but looking to get more into environmentalism? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and softly caress that notifications bell to stay up to date with topics such as this one, and even that one. Today, I wanted to talk about the effect that COVID-19 has been having on our planet, specifically our oceans. And because this is such an important topic, I'm going to ask you to stick around to the end for a special offer that may or may not be free stuff. It's free stuff. Staying safe is imperative during this unprecedented time, but there are still ways for most of us to do safety sustainably. By most of us, I mean the general public, those of us who aren't frontline medical workers or first responders. For us, the solution is simple, cheap, and very effective. I'm talking, of course, about reusable cloth masks. Not only are reusable masks stylish, sensible, and up to 90% effective from protecting us against COVID-19, but also a much cheaper monetary investment in the long run. After a quick bit of Amazon searching, I found these single-use masks, 16 cents a piece for a count of 50. I then found these reusable cloth masks, each of which is $3.16 for a count of 6. Now, if we follow CDC guidelines and only use these masks one time before throwing them out, over the next year, those single-use masks will cost you $58, where the reusable masks still only cost that original investment of $19. Now let's just say that you're cool and edgy and use each of those masks for 2 days before throwing them out. Well, that's still an expense of $28 compared to the $19 that you'd spend for the reusable masks. Now let's just say, for the sake of argument, that you use about 10 masks a month. Well, that gets you down to that $19 investment, like the reusable masks. But you've also just put 120 masks into landfills. Masks that have a 450-year lifespan. Masks that are predominantly made of plastic. So even in that 450 years, they won't break down and biodegrade. They'll break down into microplastics, further poisoning our land and ending up in our food chains. Why act now? To try and mitigate some of this incredible damage that's already been done, especially to our oceans. Sure, some of those masks will end up in landfills. Yeah, like that's much better. But what about all of those masks that we see littered on the ground as we're walking into our gyms or into our grocery stores? Well, with each rain, all those masks, along with all the other litter that lines our streets, gets washed down into storm drains, also known as MS4 drains, or Municipal Separate Storm Sewer Systems, which represent a direct path from the street to the nearest river, with usually no treatment or filtration from point A to point B. Ocean Asia has been finding masks on beaches of islands just south of Hong Kong since about 6 weeks after the start of the pandemic. The Ocean Conservancy reported finding 62,000 PPE items this past September in their annual International Coastal Cleanup Day. Laurent Lombard from Operation Clean Seas estimates that if this trend continues, the Mediterranean Sea could hold more masks than jellyfish. So I guess what I'm trying to say is it all boils down to 6 things. I would write this down. Reduce, reuse, reduce, reuse, reduce, reuse. Leave those single-use masks to the posers and fogies. We're better than that, Jack. Get 3 to 6 reusable masks, put them on a rotating washing schedule, and get like 2 or 3 in your car so you're never mistakenly without one. Now, if you want to go that extra mile, you can do like I do and carry a glove around with you so you can pick up and dispose of those littered masks that you see on the ground. I mean, it's a terrible kind of world that we live in, but I guess the assumption should be that if we're not picking those masks up ourselves, they'll probably end up in the ocean. So, I don't know, I guess it just is what it is. Now, of course, there are exceptions to the rules. If you are, in a high-risk group or you are exposed constantly, then yes, you should obviously take your own health into consideration and do what's best for you. But there's a lot of us out there, who aren't in high-risk groups, who aren't constantly exposed, who aren't constantly around people, who can make this change. If you have a way to do sustainability and safety, that's always going to be the way to go. So, here we are. I said there was going to be a special offer and you listened. Here's your reward. The first 8 people to share this video on Twitter or Facebook and tag my channels at the size of our shoes will win a free reusable cloth mask. I know, I'm too generous. But that's how important this is. That's how important it is not only to get the word out, but also to make the change. Do you already use reusable cloth masks? Let me know what your experience is. How much were they? Where did you get them? How do you keep them clean? Let us know what's working for you so that we can do it too. Until next time, of course, be happy, be healthy, and be well.